Hey, what's good, y'all? It's your boy DJ Fanatic Beats, content contributor for LiveOffBeats.com. Welcome to this video. It's basically a breakdown of this really like chill hip hop beat. Has some nice vibes. I'm sure you can probably hear a lot of different artists on it. And you notice it's not too complex here, so yeah, I'm just jump into it and show you a couple things that I did. And I love it when like I can make something this dope without just going crazy and having so many patterns and so many plugins. So sometimes simplicity is golden, you know what I mean? Less is more sometimes, and in this case that's what this is. So if you like to follow me, you can follow me on Twitter at DJ Fanatic, that's PHANATIC, or you can follow me on Sounds for Producers on IG. So let's jump into it. The first sound that I chose, here's the melody. And notice it's nothing too crazy, just two different notes, and that's the foundation that I made. I started out with that particular simple melody, but also notice the BPM, 90 BPM, and that usually is almost like a boom bap or hip hop, not hip hop, like old school feel. Like the 90s were basically in the 90s, 90 BPM that is. So range from like 90 BPM up to like 95. So that gives you an idea. The sound that I chose was from the Complete Control from Native Instruments. This actually I just chose piano keys and I ran into this Photone, I believe. Photono. Don't get me to lie. But anyway, it has a lot of cool sounds in this plugin, man, because I went through like a lot of this stuff. So that's the sound that I chose, and I thought it was layered and sounded pretty cool. Mixing wise, I just EQ'd it, cut some of the highs and cut the lows. That way it doesn't interfere with the drums and the lower frequency instruments. The next sound that I chose, check it out. Let me just play it by itself first. And I noticed just by listening to this beat, this is something that I came up with in my head. Like I had these simple melodies, and hearing that by itself sounds kind of corny. So let me play it together. So you get the idea. So obviously just two different patterns. The first one's more longer notes and just chill, and the other one's like a light melody over top of it. Sound wise, what I chose was Complete Control as well. I think I just duplicated it. Nope, I went with a different plugin. This is FM8. It has some cool stuff in there too. Mixing wise, I didn't pan or anything because that type of sound kind of bounces left to right, but I did do some plugins here. I cut the highs and left the lows. Let's isolate that sound and see visually what's going on. So for some reason I decided to leave the lows open. I don't know why, but I might have been rushing, I'm not sure. But the next plugin that I chose was some reverb. Not too crazy with reverb, just a slight reverb on there, and Fruity Delay 3 to give it this ping pong delay, and I bring down the mix, the wet level to halfway. So this is without plugins. Sounds very like straightforward and like computerized, and it just sounds dry and weak and doesn't have much character. So with these simple plugins, you can, man, these are like awesome paintbrushes to an artist. You can do some crazy stuff with reverb and delay and just take sounds to another level. Of course with EQ too. That's probably my favorite plugin because EQ, you can get a lot of value from it. So this is with the plugins. So that's night and day right there, so you get the idea. The next sound I chose like a light melody, another melody. So it's only 3 melodies in this beat, and then a couple little things I did here in the second part of the verse, I believe. Not sure, but we'll go over that. So anyway, here it is with the third melody. Let me unmute everything. let's play that by itself. And notice it's like a slow, long melody, so it's chill. It's like a chill, laid back melody. So that was the mood I was in, and basically how I was feeling translated into this creativity, into this beat. So, and I really, like, I'm looking at a mirror like, yo, I can feel how I felt that time, and I believe that's how this beat became so popular, and like artists are really feeling it. So that's it with melodies, and believe it or not, I actually used one of my own loops for drums, all drums. So here it is. When a beat drops, it sounds like this. Now, when you choose loops like this, like a complete drum loop like that, be careful because they don't always work with the beat. Like, I was experimenting with different stuff, and I rarely use a full drum loop like that, but I thought it came out pretty dope. I just randomly dropped. I was searching for certain things, but then I did that, and I was like, yo, this actually works together. And it has like this, not a boom bap exactly, but it has that feel, that vibe to it. And for the second part of it, during the verse, I used a drum loop where there's no vocals. That little vocal yell that you hear, that way it's a little more broken down for the verse and open for the artist to perform. So let me go to the next sound. This sound right here, I believe it was the bass, but we'll find out. And it sounds crazy by itself, so let's play everything together. Now the bass is very like low volume wise. It's in the cut, you can barely hear it. I try different things every beat. I'm just adventurous like that. So I use 3X OSC, and what you can do, you can make bass lines with this plugin. It comes with FL Studio. You can lower the oscillator 2 and 3 mix level and just use 1, and you can actually pitch here or just pitch within the playlist window. Just choose what octave you want. So basically what I did is just make like a different melody for the bass line. And the bass line is, as you can see, it's not like straight 808 type stuff. It's really short, and it's kind of just a groove. And I wanted to try something different with this beat. But you definitely could try different things and see how it feels with it. So with pattern 6, it looks like it's the same melody here as pattern 2, but lower an octave, I'm sure. So let's play that. So I was right. I use the same instrument, and that's another trick you can do, is basically use the same patterns throughout the beat, but try different octaves. And you can use the same patterns with different instruments and try to make. So you can alternate patterns, alternate things, and experiment. You never know what you'll discover. So with that, I'm trying to figure out where this Omnisphere is. Let's see. So probably these keys here, keys 3. And let's see where it's at. So my bad, it's pattern 6. So pattern 6 is Omnisphere. It's the lower part of it. So I use a different instrument. Compared to this. So I actually chose the same melody but used a different instrument. So in Omnisphere pattern 6, I'll show you what instrument I chose. just, you know, so that way you're informed or whatever. And if you want to try things, it's called Analog Vibralead. You can pause the video and watch it. I mean, find it, whatever, while you're making your beat. So there you go. That's every sound that's in this beat. Mixing wise, I didn't do anything too crazy. Notice there's no panning. I didn't have to do any crazy stuff with drums. This is like one of the simplest beat I ever made. But with the sub, I did try different things. I used a capitator for some distortion. I also isolated the lower frequencies with EQ. I used Fruity Fast Distort on top of the capitator and the Fruity Limiter side chain to the drums. So, and the drums I left dry. I like how they sounded with the beat. I didn't do anything too crazy with it. So let me play some of the beat from the chorus into some of the verse so you can kind of vibe out and get a feel for it. Mastering wise, like I say in other videos, there's tons of different ways of doing it, but I use Neutron 2, Ozone 8, and tonal balance control to get some balance. So balance frequency wise, and also based on different algorithms. So check it out. Here it is with the chorus and some of the verse. And let me just start here when the drums start. And that way you get a feel of the beat. And I just did a fade out for this one. Like it could be faster. See if this messes it up. Nah, we good. Speed it up, 93. Oh, man. So anyway, speeding it up while I was playing it kind of jacked it up. There you go. It came together quite well. Again, I did like a little quick fade out, and my bad for speeding it up while playing. It tried to stretch certain things and kind of made it go off beat. But like I said at the beginning of the video, obviously you can see this is a simple beat and it came out pretty well. Sometimes less is more, but always experiment. So I'll catch you next video. Again, it's DJ Fanatic Beats, content contributor for LiveOffBeats.com. If you'd like to follow me, you can follow me on Twitter at DJ Fanatic or Sounds for Producers on Instagram. Peace and love, y'all.